Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Welcome to all for this session on Ganesha Purana to chapter 34. In the previous chapter, we have seen how Indra, who violated Halya, went into her hermitage in the guise of Gautama and spoiled her, and later was cursed by Gautama to have thousand vaginas all over his body. Unable to show his face to the others, he took the form of a Indragopa beetle and he hid in a lotus. In the meantime, the demigods who were searching for Indra came to know about what exactly happened, and they all went to sage Gautama, appeased him, pleased him with their words, and they requested him to specify a remedy for that. Though initially sage Gautama was little adamant for the sin committed by Indra, later he told them that it's only Lord Ganesha, the supreme deity, can only save him, and gave them the six-syllable mantra of Gajanana. And upon receiving that, Indra's body, whatever mark of vaginas are there, they will turn into eyes. And with that blessings, he sent the demigods to meet Indra. And in the last chapter, all the demigods came and met Indra and told him about the remedy given by sage Gautama. And after he had the ritual bath and cleansing of all the wounds over his body, sage Brihaspati, who is the guru, the master of Indra and all the demigods, Brihaspati taught him the six-syllable mantra, and all the demigods requested him to return back to Amaravathi. But upon receiving that mantra, Indra was interested in reciting it and get the siddhi of that mantra. He wanted to perfect it. So, because of that reason, he refused to come to move back to Amaravati. He told all the demigods to enjoy their position for a while. In the meantime, he will recite that mantra and try to get the darshan of Gajanana. Narada, who is explaining this story, continuing, in the highest pasture at at the base of a Kadamba tree, having directed his eyes into the tip of his nose. That's how exactly people perform the penance, by putting their drishti, their eyesight, to the tip of the nose. They can have the concentration. So that enemy of Jambha, that's Indra, having checked his mind, having put his mind under control, he continued to recite that six-syllable mantra. And like that, 1,000 years passed, while Indra, the lord of Maruts, was only breathing air. Pits and anthills appeared on the body of him who has now become a still like a mountain. He was standing still like a mountain. So even the anthill started covering his body. In spite of that, he was only breathing the air, not taking any food or not drinking even a sip of water. And for 1,000 years he went on reciting the mantra. Thereupon the illustrious Ganesha became pleased. He who is all pervasive, omniscient, endowed with terrible splendor, whose own splendor conceals the splendor of the sun, the moon, the fire, and covers everyone's eyes. Now, at this point of a time, some people may be having the doubt. Is it possible that these divine beings could able to live for 1,000 years? Possibilities are there. One possibility is, since they are divine beings, they live for quite a long period. One Indra's ruling period is considered to be, I mean, basically in a Brahma's day, there will going to be 1,000 Mahayogas. One Mahayoga consists of Krita, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, which is totally equal to 10,000 divine years. And 10,000 divine years multiplied by 360, because that's the conversion ratio between the manual years to the divine years. So 360,000. So again, some more years added to that, nearly more than 425,000 years is the time period of one Mahayuga. Likewise, 71 Mahayugas are the time period for the ruling of one Indra. So, considering those things, doing a penance for 1,000 years is certainly a possible thing. But on the other side, whenever we heard about somebody performing penance for 1,000 years or 100 years or few hundred years, basically, psychologically, if we take it, it also goes in such a fashion that many times we just spend the whole day in some other thought, and we forgot how exactly the day has happened, how exactly the night had happened. Even the hours, minutes were never come to our count at all. We just, the whole day got slipped off. But that is not the way of real living. One who really lives, they live by every minute and second. They count every minute and second of the whole day and they live fully. This kind of a mindful living fully will allow us to enjoy every second of the day. And in that case, the whole day looks like we work and we do all our kriyas, we do all our work as though we are living for 100 years. And one day could be in that way can be considered as equivalent to 1 year. So spending even 1,000 days, it looks like we spent 1,000 days. We would have done so much of work with such a concentration, with such a kind of a fully living. So that is how exactly we can take it psychologically. But for a divine being, doing penance for 1,000 years is naturally maybe possible. Now, the one who has 4 arms, who is crowned with the jeweled diadem, who has beautiful, it is basically they are explaining about the form of Gajanana that appeared before Indra. One who has beautiful arm bracelets and earrings adorning the side of his face, who is wearing a chaplet composed of pearls and has 2 anklets, and a valuable waistband high on his hips, whose eyes are lotuses, whose huge belly is like a broad lotus, who wears a garland furnished with lotuses while wearing red clothes and having the form of all the gods. He manifested himself in Maghavana in the presence of Indra. So he appeared before him. Indra saw him and initially was terrified with fear, thinking that what exactly is this? Because he had never seen Gajanana before. With the elephant face, with such a broad stomach, with such a huge body, naturally one get terrified with the fear. What is this? What is this that has come here? How can I survive while I'm only air and bone? Because he was breathing only the air. He was so weak at that moment. What is this great impediment to my penance? I do not know who created this great thing that he is seeing in front of him. My body is steaming with sweat, shakes like a leaf of a banyan tree. The Lord Vinayaka saw that Indra is immersed in the fear. He noticed everything about the bewilderment and spoke this charming speech to great Indra. Vinayaka said, "Fear not, O Lord of the gods. Do you know, you do not know me? Do you not know me, God? When I am without form, without characteristic, blissful in mind, eternal, beyond the cause, unmanifested, the cause of the world, the God upon whom you continually and immovably meditating with that mantra. That means the mantra which you are reciting repeatedly in your mind, it is basically my own mantra. And it is because of that mantra I got pleased and I came near to you. You have toiled for a long time, so I have come in person because I am satisfied with your austerity and have come here to give you a boon. Know this: the protection, destruction, and origin of the infinite number of Brahmandas is due to me alone. So choose whatever you wish, O blameless God. He is addressing to Indra. Narada continued the story. After Indra heard this delightful speech, Indra, who is a slayer of armies, recognized that huge body as the illustrious Vinayaka, the god of the gods. He bowed with deep devotion, and after he had quickly stood up, Indra, who is the husband of Shachi, spoke to him, who now appeared in the form of a Brahmin. Suddenly, Ganesha took the form of a Brahmin to stand in front of him. Because his real form was so fiery, Indra was unable to see that. Then Indra said, even the gods led by Brahma and the lords of directions don't know your characteristics and your activities as creator, sustainer, and destroyer. O great armed god! But this is an artificial situation which has beset me because of my performance of 100 sacrifices. It's because of that reason that I could able to see you. But even now, many obstacles still remain for me. However, can I know your majesty, O Gajanana? For only he who can know your majesty, O great Lord, will gain the fullness of your favor. O Vignakarana, he will have the ability to describe your forms and your qualities. I cannot explain those things to. You are without support, yet you are the support of everything, constant in knowledge, undecaying and immortal, possessing illusion, perishable and unique. You are the imperishable and supreme self, the shape of everything and the Lord of all. Sanaka and so forth. Sanaka, Sanandana, these are called as the famous knowledgeable people created by Brahma. They are the Brahma's Manasaputras. Sanaka and so forth renounced after knowing you by means of their fierce austerities, but through the power of the six syllable mantra, you can be seen, O Supreme Lord. Previously, Brahma had recited the same mantra to me just as a favor, and Brahma said to me, when you forget this, straightway you will fall from your position and your situation will become very difficult. In the past, Brahma has taught him the same six syllable mantra and told him to recite it continuously. The day you don't recite this mantra, you will fall into a hell of the problem. And the same thing has happened. It is because Indra stopped reciting of that mantra, he was instigated by the celestial beauty of Ahalya and made the mistake. When you forget this straight away, you will fall from your position and your situation will become really difficult. Then, however, full of lust and in the power of an evil fate, I ravished the sage's wife, and so I came into this misfortune. Due to this mantra recited by Brihaspati, I have once again seen your real appearance, O Lord of gods. So now I have 1,000 eyes. Its performance has achieved a result because your lotus like feet have appeared. But now, Vignapa, give me every whatever boon I request. Ensure that I will never forget you, and let my mind constantly rest joyfully on your lotus feet, O mighty God. Because you give cherished desires, I am requesting some more things. That means, first he asked, but like it happened in the past, I should never forget your mantra, and my mind should always reside in your lotus feet. And because you gave so many boons, I will ask you one more boon. In this city, of Kadamba should be hereafter be named as Chintamani city. Henceforth it must become famous in this world, O Gajanana, and this lake by the side of which I performed the penance. This lake should be later on famous as the sacred pond called Chintamani or the Ganesha Kunda. Those beings who bathe in this pond and generous in offering the gifts to the learned people will become accomplished in liberation, power, sensuality, the law due to the favor of the world teacher like you. After he had after Gajanana had heard Indra's request, the Lord of the obstacles, who is the Lord of the worlds, his voice, deep like a rumbling cloud, spoke in a silky tone. Vinayaka, Vignesha, he told to Indra, everything you have requested will come about, Almighty God. Let there be one other boon for you, that you will be consolidated in your own position. Also, Lord of the gods, you will never forget me whenever you might be in a tight situation. You must, and that means whenever you got fixed into any problem, you must recollect me, O Indra of the Vasus. Vasus, there are 8 Vasus, and Indra is the prime among those Vasu Devatas. By manifesting, then I will ensure success in every task of yours. This city called Chintamani, which was called earlier as Kadamba city, will be celebrated on the earth and will become the sacred pond called Chintamani Pond or Ganesha Kunda. Success will stay in the hands of all who bathe in it. Whatever is thought of, I, the Vinayaka of Chintamani, will grant to those people who had a bath in this Ganesha Kunda. Narada continued the story. After he had obtained this great boon from Gajanana, Vishnu brought the Ganga, and having performed the consecration with her, he worshipped the illustrious mighty Gajanana, who was accompanied by his attendants in that spot. Worshipped by Indra, lord of the gods, the mighty god then disappeared. Indra then carefully erected a crystal image of Vinayaka, auspicious, celestial, and beautiful in every limb. Sakra, who is basically Indra, also constructed a large temple out of gold and jewels, after which, having bowed and made a circumambulation, he returned to his own abode. The huge lake Chintamani became celebrated on the earth, and to this day, following Indra's command, the auspicious water of the Ganga always goes to her own home after performing the consecration on his image. The Ganga who came in that pond and filled the pond with the water, and then that water of Ganga was used to consecrate and to install that particular idol in that huge temple. In this way, the majesty of that sacred place has been narrated to you. Its wondrous appearance takes away all faults. It's splendid, auspicious, and gives all wishes. After going there, O king, the protector of the earth, you should bath according to the injunctions and you will become freed from all your faults. Means whenever you go to any particular kshetra, there is a procedure, ritual to be followed while having the bath even in that pond. Then the sage quickly left after he had inquired about after the king and had respectfully saluted Rukmangada with benedictions. Rukmangada saluted the sage Narada as sage Narada left that particular spot. Thus ends the 34th chapter of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which Narada explained about the majesty of Chintamani, about how the Chintamani Kshetra came into being, and the speciality of the Chintamani lake. This town of Chintamani, with the same Chintamani Vinayaka temple, of course, today's temple is not made of gold or jewels, it is made of the stone. The Chintamani Vinayaka temple, along with the Chintamani Vinayaka as well Ganesha Kunda, it exists in state of Maharashtra in India. One can visit there and have the sacred bath and the blessings of Ganesha. As I told you before, there are certain divine spots identified, discovered by the sages who had the divine capability, divine power. Like it's since it is a divine spot, it is at that very spot Indra had the darshan of Vinayaka, and in order to identify the spot, he had installed idol of Ganesha and erected a huge temple there. Even today, the temple is maintained well, and one can visit Chintamani Vinayaka and get the blessings. It is located in the state of Maharashtra in country of India. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Bye.